I used to believe that love could fix anything. That as long as two people truly cared, lies would fade, truth would rise, and hearts would stay clean. I was wrong. Very wrong. Because the man I trusted with my whole life was also the man who quietly built that life on lies. And the scariest part? I didn't see it coming. Not even a little. He smiled too well. He spoke too softly. He held my hands like they were something precious. But behind those gentle eyes was a story I was never meant to know. Until that one truth shattered his fake world. And mine. People often say, you never really know someone. I used to laugh at that line. Because I thought I knew him better than anyone else on this world. We met on a rainy evening. Nothing dramatic. No fireworks. Just two tired souls sitting in the same small cafe, waiting for the rain to stop. He offered me his seat near the heater. I offered him half my cookie. That was it. That simple moment turned into long talks. Those talks turned into late nights. And those late nights turned into promises. He said, I've never felt this calm with anyone. I said, me too. And I meant it. For 2 years, he became my safe place. He listened when I cried. He laughed when I tried to joke through pain. He held me through storms I never thought I'd survive. I gave him my trust, my time, my future, my love. And he took all of it, with a smile. The night everything began to break started like any other. He kissed my forehead before work. Said he'd be late. Said he had meetings. I didn't question it. Why would I? Love doesn't question. Love believes. I went about my day like normal. Cleaned the house. Answered emails. Cooked dinner. I even set the table for two. Because I still believed. But around 10 p.m. my phone buzzed. Not a message. A photo. From a number I didn't recognize. At first I ignored it. Then my heart told me not to. So I opened it. And that single image shut down everything I thought I knew. It was him. Laughing. Holding another woman's hand. Close. Too close. With the same soft smile he used to give me. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just stared. For a long time. At first, my brain tried to protect me. Asterisk, it's not what it looks like. There must be a reason. You're overthinking. Asterisk, because when you love someone deeply, your mind fights the truth before your heart accepts it. I zoomed into the photo. Looked at his face. His jacket. The place behind him. It was real. Every painful detail was real. My hands started shaking. Not with anger. With fear. Fear that my whole life was about to fall apart. I tried calling him. No answer. Again. Still nothing. My food went cold on the table. The house felt empty, even though I was inside it. Then another message came from the same unknown number. You deserve to know who he really is. No threats. No insults. Just truth. And truth is the most dangerous thing of all. I didn't reply. Instead, I waited. At 1:12 a.m., the door finally opened. He walked in like everything was normal. Like no other life existed outside that door. He smiled. Sorry I'm late. I smiled back. And that was the moment he lost. Because he thought I knew nothing. I hugged him. He smelled the same. His voice sounded the same. But he felt different. Like a stranger wearing a familiar face. You okay? He asked. Just tired, I said. Lie. But unlike his lies, mine had a purpose. That night, I didn't sleep. I watched him breathe. Listened to his phone vibrate with hidden messages. Watched him turn away from me in his sleep. And that's when I understood something terrifying. He wasn't just lying. He was living two lives. Over the next few days, I became quiet. Observant. I stopped asking where he was going. Stopped questioning his late nights. Stopped reacting. And he got comfortable. Too comfortable. The unknown number kept sending messages. Screenshots. Timelines. Photos. The woman wasn't a stranger. She was his coworker. His late meeting. They had been seeing each other for over a year. While he was holding me with one hand, he was building another life with the other. He told her I was just a phase. He told me she was just work. 2 lies. 1 truth. He used my love to protect his fake world. The hardest part wasn't the betrayal. It was pretending everything was still normal. I cooked for him, smiled at him, sat beside him in silence, while my heart screamed every second. I didn't confront him. Not yet. Because I didn't want an apology. I wanted the truth. The whole truth. Slowly, I started connecting the dots, the late calls, the work trips, the sudden passwords. Even the days he was extra kind were days he felt guilty. And guilt made him generous. Funny how that works. One evening, he came home excited. I got promoted, he said. I looked at him. At the man who built success on secrets. That's great, I replied. What he didn't know is that his promotion was connected to her. She worked under him. And now he worked over both of us. Power, love, control. All mixed into one dangerous game. A week later, the unknown number stopped messaging. Instead, the woman herself sent me a single line. He told me you already left him. That sentence burned. It meant he was preparing his exit. From me. From the life we built. From the truth. And suddenly, I wasn't just betrayed. I was disposable. That night, I stood in front of the mirror. I didn't recognize the person staring back. Not the soft girl who trusted easily. Not the woman who believed in forever. I saw someone new. Someone silent. Someone steady. Someone who was done being used. And that's the night the revenge plan began. Not in anger. Not in madness. But with cold, quiet clarity. The next 2 weeks were the longest of my life. Every smile he gave me felt borrowed. Every kiss felt stolen. Every I love you felt like a lie he didn't even taste anymore. But I kept playing my part. Because the truth doesn't always come from asking. Sometimes it comes from listening. One night, he forgot his second phone on the kitchen counter. Yes, second phone. I had seen it before, but never touched it. He always kept it hidden. Locked. Silent. That night, it buzzed. A name lit up the screen. Her name. My heart slammed against my chest. My hands went cold. For a moment, I froze. Then I answered. But I didn't speak. I just listened. Her voice came through soft and tired. Are you going to leave her or not? Silence. Then his voice. The same voice that once promised me forever. Soon. I just need time. She still believes in me. My stomach turned. I hate lying to her, she said. It makes me feel sick. He laughed. A quiet, careless laugh. She'll be fine. She always is. That was the moment something inside me broke. Not loudly. Not violently. Quietly. Completely. They talked about trips. About moving in together. About their future. Their future. Built on my trust. On my patience. On my silence. When the call ended, my hands were shaking so badly, I had to sit down on the floor. I didn't cry. Tears couldn't carry that kind of pain. This wasn't just cheating anymore. This was planning. This was erasing me while still using me. And suddenly, revenge no longer felt like anger. It felt like balance. That night, I didn't sleep. I planned. Not wild revenge. Not loud revenge. Smart revenge. The kind that doesn't scream but echoes forever. I started collecting the truth. Quietly. Carefully. Like someone picking up broken glass without making sound. I took photos of his second phone when he slept. Saved messages. Copied dates. Recorded voice notes when he spoke in his sleep. Yes. Sometimes guilt talks louder than people do. I learned their routines. Their favorite places. Their plans. They met every Thursday. Same cafe. Same back table. Same lies. He'd tell me, over time again. And I'd smile. Of course. The hardest part? Looking normal. Laughing. Listening to his work stories. His fake stress. His fake loyalty. He'd ask, "You're quiet. Everything okay?" And I'd say, "Just tired." But what I was really tired of was being fooled. One day, I followed him. Not like in movies. Not obvious. From far. From reflections. From the other side of streets. I saw him walk into that cafe. Moments later, she walked in. And that's when I saw her properly for the first time. She wasn't evil. She wasn't cruel. She looked ordinary. Just like me. And that's what made it worse. Because evil doesn't always look like darkness. Sometimes it looks like someone just like you. Through the window, I watched them laugh. He leaned close.
Whispered something. She blushed.
Something inside me hardened. Not with jealousy. With understanding. He didn't just want two women. He wanted two lives. Two versions of himself. Two worlds where he controlled the story. And soon, that control would be tested. The moment everything shifted wasn't loud. It was quiet. Small. Almost invisible. One evening, he came home earlier than usual. He looked nervous. Too nice. Too careful. I think we should talk, he said. My heart stayed calm. About what?
About thus.
About the future. There it was. The exit door. Softly opened. He spoke in slow words. Safe words. Prepared words. He said he felt confused. He said he felt lost. He said he needed space to think. Not once did he say the truth. And that's when I realized something powerful. He only had power over me because I didn't use the truth I already had. I looked at him, the man I once planned a life with. And for the first time, I saw him clearly. Not as my partner, but as my opponent.
I understand, I said. His shoulders relaxed.
Relief washed over his face. He thought he was winning. He thought I was letting go gently. He had no idea I had just let him walk into the center of my plan. That night, I didn't pack my bags. I packed my evidence. Printouts, audio files, screenshots, timelines. The truth shaped into weapons of exposure. Safe, legal, bulletproof. I wasn't going to scream. I was going to reveal. For the first time in months, he slept peacefully. He thought the hardest part was over. He thought I accepted the breakup quietly. He thought I was too weak to question, too soft to fight, too broken to respond. And I made sure he believed that. I stopped asking questions. Stopped checking his phone. Stopped waiting for him to come home. Instead, I smiled. I dressed better. I went out more. I became light.
Free.
He watched me change and felt relieved. Because when your victim stops crying, you think the danger is gone. That false comfort was exactly what I needed. Behind that calm face, I was building a storm. I created a private folder. Backed up everything. Labeled dates. Saved voice recordings. I even kept old messages where he promised me forever. Not because I still believed them, but because I wanted later for him to hear his own lies echo back. Then I took the most careful step of all. I replied to her. The woman who thought I was already gone. I didn't rage. Didn't accuse. Didn't beg. I simply sent one message. I think we need to talk. Woman to woman. There was a long pause. Then 3 dots appeared. Then disappeared. Then appeared again. Finally, she replied. Okay. And that's when I knew the truth was about to collide. We met in a quiet place. Not the cafe. Not anywhere he'd expect. She walked in slowly. Nervous.
Guarded.
Her eyes searched my face. Trying to see if I was the enemy. I wasn't. I was the mirror. I thought you were gone, she said. I'm still here, I replied. Silence fell between us. Heavy.
Thick.
Uncomfortable. Then I placed my phone on the table. And I slid it toward her. One by one, I showed her everything. The late-night texts he sent me. The same words he told her. The same promises. The same lies. Her face changed with every swipe. Confusion, shock, disbelief, then finally understanding. He told me you were cold, she whispered. That you didn't care. He told me you were temporary, I said. That you were just work. We sat there. 2 women connected by one man's deception. And in that moment, the story changed. She wasn't my rival anymore. She was proof. She covered her face. I loved him, she said. So did I whispered. For the first time, we cried. Not over him, but over the time he stole from both of us. When the tears stopped, I asked quietly, "Do you want him to keep doing this?" She shook her head. No. And just like that, the final piece of my plan locked into place. We didn't confront him right away. That would have been too easy. Instead, we let him climb higher. At work, in friend circles, in his fake perfect life. We let him feel powerful, important, untouchable. Then the perfect moment came. His promotion celebration. A small gathering. Friends. Coworkers. Laughter. Praises. He stood in the center, enjoying every second. The hero of his own story. I watched from across the room. Quiet. Calm. Ready. And then she walked in. He didn't expect that. His face froze for half a second. Not fear. Confusion. Because he thought he still controlled the story. She raised her glass. "Can I say something?" she asked. Everyone turned. He smiled nervously. "Of course." She looked directly at him and said, "I just want to thank you for teaching me how someone can live two lives so easily." The room went quiet. He laughed awkwardly. "What's this?" Then she looked at me, and I stood up. "I want to thank you too," I said, "for teaching me what betrayal really looks like." Murmurs filled the room. He finally understood. His smile cracked. Not fully, but just enough for everyone to notice. The room didn't explode with noise. It sank into silence. The kind of silence that presses against your ears. The kind that makes every breath sound too loud. Everyone stood frozen. He looked at me, then at her, then back at me again. His perfect balance was gone. And for the first time, he looked small. "Is this a joke?" he said with a forced laugh. Nobody laughed with him. Not one person. I took a slow step forward. Not angry. Not shaking. Calm. The kind of calm that only comes when you already won half the battle. "This isn't a joke," I said. "This is the truth." He shook his head. "You're confused. You're emotional." He tried to turn it back on me. Old trick. Didn't work this time. She spoke again. "Did you tell her I was nothing but work?" His jaw tightened. "Did you tell me she no longer mattered?" His eyes dropped for a moment. Just a moment. But it was enough. The room felt it. People started to whisper. Not loudly, but enough. One coworker finally asked, "Is any of this true?" He opened his mouth. And for the first time, no lie came out. He tried to gather control again. "I didn't mean for it to happen like this," he said. "It just happened. Happened, like betrayal falls from the sky. Like lies grow on trees." I looked at him. "Two lives don't just happen," I said. "They're built. Daily. With choice." He clenched his fists. "You planned this," he whispered to me. "Yes," I said. "And you taught me how." The room was no longer on his side. The praise from earlier felt distant. The celebration felt fake. Even the air felt heavier. His manager stepped forward. "This is not the place for this," he said. "But we will talk." And in that moment, his career line cracked. Not broken yet, but bending. He turned to me when everyone began to move away. "Why are you doing this to me?" The question almost made me laugh. Almost. "Because you did it to me first," I said softly. Later that night, he found me outside. His voice wasn't smooth anymore. It was desperate. "You ruined everything," he said. I didn't raise my voice. "You ruined it yourself," I replied. He paced. "I was going to leave her," he said. "I just needed time." I met his eyes. "You were never going to leave either of us," I said. "You needed both." He stopped moving. Because it was true. And the truth always freezes liars. His voice cracked. "I loved you." The words felt empty. "I loved who you pretended to be," I answered. He stepped closer. "Can we fix this?" And that's when I felt it. Not anger. Not sadness. Relief. Because there was nothing left to fix. "You lost the right to ask that," I said. On the day you chose to lie instead of leave. He looked at me like someone watching a door close for the last time. And this time, it didn't reopen. The morning after, the world looked different. The city sounded the same. The sky looked the same. But his world had shifted. He didn't go to work that day. Instead, his manager called. Then HR. Then another call. And another. Each one tighter than the last. By evening, he sat on the edge of the bed staring at the wall. They put me on temporary leave, he said. They said there's an investigation. I didn't respond. Not because I didn't hear him, but because I finally didn't carry his fear anymore. His phone kept vibrating. Messages from coworkers, friends, people who once praised him. Now their words were short,
distant,
careful. Trust doesn't break loudly. It fades quietly. 2 days later, his promotion was officially paused. Not announced. Not celebrated.
not spoken about.
It simply vanished. Like his good image. He tried to blame me. You turned everyone against me, he said. I looked at him calmly. No, I replied. I just stopped protecting your lies. She called me one night. I ended it, she said. No drama. No anger. Just a tired voice. How do you feel? I asked.
Sad, she said.
But free. She told me everything. How he begged. How he promised to change. How he cried. How he blamed me. And how she finally saw that a man who lives in lies will always need someone to lie to. I don't hate him anymore, she said. I just don't believe him. Those words mattered. Because belief was the only power he ever had. And now, both women had taken it back. The night his world fully collapsed, he came home late.
Drained. Silent.
He dropped his keys on the table and sat across from me. For the first time in months, he didn't pretend. I have nothing left, he whispered. No confidence. No charm. No mask. Just a man facing the ruins of his own choices. I lost my career. I lost her. I lost you. I lost my name. His voice broke. And this time, it wasn't an act. I studied him quietly. Once, his tears would have destroyed me. Now, they only confirmed the truth. What do you want from me now? He asked. I thought about it and realized something powerful. I didn't want his pain. I wanted my peace. I want my life back, I said. Not your regret. That was the moment he finally understood. This wasn't revenge anymore. This was release. He lowered his head. Defeated. Not by me, but by his own choices. The next morning, I woke up before sunrise. The sky was soft gray. Quiet. Still. For the first time in a long time, my heart was quiet too.
He was still asleep.
Curled on the edge of the bed, like someone afraid of falling. Once, I would have reached for him. This time, I reached for my bag. I had already prepared it. Not in anger. Not in panic.
In peace.
Everything I needed. Nothing I didn't. When I stood at the door, he finally stirred. He sat up slowly. Are you leaving? He asked. His voice was small. Not commanding.
Not charming.
Just broken. Yes, I said. He swallowed. For good. I nodded. He didn't run after me. Didn't shout. Didn't beg loudly. He just said, I never thought you'd be strong enough to walk away. I paused at the door, turned back once, and said quietly, I was strong the whole time. You just depended on me being quiet. Then I left. And this time, I didn't look back. Healing didn't arrive like a celebration. It arrived slowly. In mornings where I no longer checked my phone in fear. In meals that didn't taste like anxiety. In laughter that didn't feel forced. At first, I still heard his voice in my head. In memories. In habits. In dreams. But every week, his shadow grew smaller. I moved to a new place. Not to run away, but to start fresh. New walls. New streets. New silence. Safe silence. One day, weeks later, I realized something strange. I hadn't thought about revenge at all. Not once. Because when healing becomes stronger than anger, revenge fades on its own. Months passed. His name faded from conversations. From workplaces. From stories, people moved on. And that was the real punishment.
Not shame.
Not loss. Irrelevance. I heard later he changed jobs. Changed cities. Tried again. But trust never came easy for him after that. Because once the truth breaks your reflection, you can't escape your own face. As for me, I didn't become famous. I didn't win applause. I won something quieter. Something stronger.
Peace.
And here's the truth nobody tells you about revenge. The real victory isn't watching someone fall. It's standing tall after they tried to break you. He used my love to build a fake world. But the truth didn't just break his lies. It gave me my life back. Betrayal taught me pain. But walking away taught me power. And if you're listening to this while hurting, remember this. You don't need to destroy anyone to prove your strength. Sometimes, the strongest revenge is becoming untouchable.